friends. Just making sure that we're live here. And it's looking like things are good. So just wanting to welcome you to our chair yoga class. Live from my living room, and it's a beautiful day out there. If you are joining live right now, I hope you have the opportunity to get outside today and get some fresh air. It's really important right now while we're experiencing this quarantine. It's still okay to go outside. That's something that is still available to us. So anyway, welcome once again. And oh, Kitty, down, Bliss. So you've met my cat, Miss Bliss, up close and personal. I had a feeling she'd be making some appearances today. So once again, when we're practicing live, those are the things that happen in our homes. So so let us just start with just settling in, just letting your hips kind of slide to the back of your chair, whatever chair you might be sitting on, and just let your hands relax. We'll close the eyes if that feels comfortable for you. Otherwise, just keep a soft gaze at the tip of your nose. And we'll just begin to feel ourselves arriving for our practice. Giving yourself gratitude for taking the time to incorporate your yoga practice into your daily life, this new normal that we're all experiencing. So just continuing on with those wellness practices. So again, just giving yourself gratitude for making your practice a priority, and just begin to connect with your breath, just uniting with that prana or life force, beginning to just notice the sensation of the breath as you settle in to this space, wherever you are in your home. Noticing the breath coming in through the nostrils. And we'll let our arms come down by the sides. And we'll begin to invite some seated mountain breath into your practice. So letting your arms float up on the inhale. So we're uniting our breath with movement. So we're inhaling as we open up and expand, and then exhaling as we release the arms down. And we're beginning to establish our energetic field here. So as we inhale, inviting positive energy into your space. And then as you exhale, imagine clearing away any negative energy that might be present. And as we inhale, think about inviting in whatever it is that might support you along your unique journey right now. And then as you exhale, think of clearing away anything that is standing in your way along your journey. Just setting that aside, opening your path back up so that you can continue on toward just being that best possible version of yourself. Again, as you exhale, just letting go of anything that is no longer serving you. You're just releasing on the exhale. And then on our next inhale, we'll just Let the palms connect at the top. And then exhale, hands down in front of the heart space. And we'll open up the palms and just let them rest on top of each other, stacking the palms on the heart space. Taking a moment here to set an intention for your practice. Your intention might be something you wish to cultivate more of in your life. It can be a prayer, perhaps even a dedication to someone else, an individual, an entity, our world, whatever that might be. So consider that intention for a moment. And on our next inhale, we'll just press into the heart space, sealing our intention into the heart. And we'll take that big breath in, pressing into the heart. Sealing the intention, then open up the mouth and release the breath. Let's do that again. Nice big inhale through the nostrils. Open and release. Awesome. Now just envision our breath that we just shared, just traveling to each other, out into our world, just in doing our part to bring compassion, love, light, and healing to each other and to all the corners of the earth. And just enjoy that sensation in the body, in the mind, in the spirit, knowing that we are all united and connected through our breath, that love and that light that we share with each other, regardless if we're physically present with each other or not. Good, and then we'll bring the hands back down to the lap, and once again begin to connect with the breath. And now we begin to draw that breath a little bit deeper down into the lungs. Remember, we want to use the full capacity of our lungs, inviting in as much oxygen-rich air as we can to really get that healing energy to just nourish all the parts of our being, right down to the cellular level of the body. So we'll begin to invite that breath in, and you might even want to place a hand on your belly and a hand on the rib cage, and just feel the rise and fall of the torso as we draw that breath in. And then as we exhale, the softening, feeling the rib cage and the belly soften back toward the spine. And we'll do that again. And then as we exhale, releasing. Now placing a hand up on the heart, and we're really going to draw the breath in now until you can feel your heart space just lift as you complete your inhale. So nice deep breath in, all the way down to the base of the lungs. Feeling the heart center lift, and taking a little more breath here. And then exhale, the softening of the chest, the softening of the rib cage, and the softening back of the belly as you complete your exhale. And then I'll just let you take a few of these 3-part breaths at your own pace. So just go ahead and draw a breath in as deeply as you can, and then exhale, releasing, emptying the lungs completely. Let's do 2 more complete breath cycles at your own pace. Good, and once your exhale is complete here, just return back to whatever breath pattern is comfortable for you and begin to tune back in, bringing the awareness inward, noticing any changes or shifts in your body, in your mind, even in your spirit or your heart space since you first sat down. Just noticing if maybe the nervous system is relaxing a little bit, maybe your breath is a little bit slower, your respiration a little more relaxed, perhaps a little bit deeper breath just happening since you took this time to do some meditative breath work. Good. Just always good to check in throughout your practice. Go ahead and let your eyes flutter open, letting that beautiful sunlight just kind of come back in. And we'll scooch ahead a little bit on the chair right now and just begin to let your knees move a little bit from side to side here. Just getting a little bit of movement into the hips even, maybe going a little bit further from side to side. Good. All right, and then just letting the feet come back down into our seated mountain pose. So we have both of our feet planted down on the floor with the ankles kind of lined up with the knees and your toes pointing as much forward as you're able to. And we'll just start by letting the right arm or the left arm rise up and take a little gaze over the right shoulder. And then we're going to let the arm drop down as we gaze forward again. And then we'll inhale, arm rises, look over to your right, exhale, arm down and gaze forward. And then we'll do that again on this side and let that arm fall down. And then we'll let the arm rise up. And this time we'll just let the ear fall toward the shoulder and then drop the arm down, head back up. And again, we're synchronizing breath with movement. So inhaling as we let the arm float up and the ear drop down, and then back down. Good. And now we'll let the arm float out and then bend that elbow and bring the hand to the back. And from here, we'll just let the ear drop again. This time we'll inhale, let the chin lift up. Exhale, chin dips down. And then we'll do that a couple more times, noticing how the neck is feeling here as we do these gentle movements. Just little movements. They don't have to be deep. Good. And then we'll release the arm, bring the head back up, do a little bit of bobbling from side to side, and then we'll sweep that arm over across the midline. Bring the hand up to draw the elbow towards you, dropping that shoulder as much as you can. Maybe you even want to hook with the arm. You decide what works best for you. Spread those fingers wide, reach, energizing out through those fingers, and take a couple of breaths here as we begin to really open up through the shoulder, inviting the breath into those tight spaces within the shoulders where we carry so much tension. Another big breath in. And release the breath. And then let that arm come down. Do a couple of shoulder rolls here. So really drawing the shoulders up on the inhale, dropping the shoulders back, and then letting those shoulder blades really draw toward one another in the back as you exhale. And then inhale, draw the shoulders up, exhale, down. Good. And then just take any movements that feel good here in that arm, especially over on your left. And then we'll do the other side. So we'll inhale, letting the right arm float up with the palm facing inward. And then we'll take a little gaze over to the left. And then exhale, drop that arm down, gaze forward. Inhale, gaze over the shoulder, arm floats up. And exhale, down. And one more time. Good. And then exhale. And now we'll bring that arm back up. This time we'll just let the left ear fall toward the left shoulder, keeping the shoulder low. And then exhale, back up to neutral. And then again, and back up. And then one more time here. Good. And then we'll let the arm come out. Really stretch the fingers out. Let the palm face backwards. And then we'll bend that elbow, bringing the top of the hand to the small of the back. Let the left ear drop over toward the shoulder. And then we'll just do those little lifts and dips with the chin. So little lift up, exhale, chin drops down. Inhale, and then exhale. Noticing how the neck is feeling over on your right. We'll do that one more time. Good, and then we'll bring that arm back around. Take any little movements with the neck that you might need right now. Good, and then we'll sweep that right arm over the midline and then draw the elbow toward the body, dropping that right shoulder. Fingers spread nice and wide. Again, you might want to hook. Either way is fine. So you modify to just meet the needs of your own body. And then we'll take a couple more breaths here, really reaching those fingers away. Inviting the breath into any tight areas, and just imagining those areas opening up, and then with the exhale, sending that tightness out of the body. Good, and when that exhale is complete for you, just bring that arm back around, and we'll do some more shoulder rolls. Inhaling, shoulders up toward the ears. Exhaling, drawing the shoulder blades toward one another in the back, and then continuing that. Good, and then we'll switch directions here. So bringing the shoulders now starting in the back, and then drawing them forward and up. And once more. Good. All right, so we'll just let the hands come out in front now, and bring the palms together and just press them here. Just getting a little bit of energy through the arms, pressing as hard as you can. Good. And at the same time, pulling your belly button in toward your spine. So we're energizing through the core here and through the arms. Good. And then just let that relax. And then we'll bring the hands out and cross one hand in front of the other. We'll bring the hands around to just wherever they stop. Maybe you're down, maybe you're back around your shoulders, maybe you're on your forearms, maybe we're doing elbows here. So just whatever works best in your own body. And we'll do a little bit of movement of the spine here. So we're going to start by inhaling, lifting the elbows up, lifting the chin, lifting the gaze, and then exhale, rounding. So we're going to just really gently begin to round out the spine here, pulling the belly button in toward the spine, rounding, and then inhale, lift. Exhale, round. Remember, you don't have to go deeply here. Just bring your awareness to the spine, noticing the sensation, and let your body follow the breath. And we'll do that one more time. Good, and when your exhale is complete, bring the elbows back up, and then we're going to switch. So whichever hand was on top is now on the bottom, bringing the arms back around, and maybe you're noticing a little difference on this side as to the extension of your reach. And this time we're going to just incorporate a little bit of twisting. So we're going to shift the elbows to one side as you turn your head in the opposite direction. And then back, and then other side. And really let your eyes shift over as far as possible. So we're getting some stretching of those muscles in the eyes. And then back to the front, and one more time on the other side. Good, and then we'll bring the elbows forward again. We'll come back out with the hands, and then we'll just let the hands drop down, or the fingers drop down, and do a gentle little pull. And notice the sensation on the top part of the arm, the top part of the wrist. And then we'll do the other side, or the other way. So we're just going to let the palm face out, and then draw the fingers back towards you. Trying to keep the fingers straight. Good. And then we'll just take that thumb and draw that towards you as well, but just nice and gentle. You just want to really open up the joints in the hands, the fingers, and then we'll do the other side. So just let the fingers drop down, draw them towards you. Notice where you're feeling that. Enjoying that nice stretch, and then fingers pointing up, and then just drawing those towards you with a straight arm and straight fingers. Feeling that on the underside of the wrist. Good, and then we'll just let the hand come out and just gently bring the thumb towards you, or basically kind of toward the wrist actually. Fingers straight if you can. Good. And then we'll make fists and just bring the tops of the hands together and press like we did with our palms. So we're pressing, energizing through the arms, all the way up the arm. Just feel that, follow that sensation in your mind's eye, and then begin to just tap the tops of the hands together. Good. And then draw them away. Good. And then shake everything out here. That's going to really feel good after doing all of that. Maybe do some cat claws. I always do that. I don't know where Bliss is right now, but we'll just do some circles with the wrists and just anything that feels good until you're ready to settle back in. So I hope your upper body is feeling a little bit looser, a little bit more relaxed. We're going to do a little more with the spine here. So we want to really take care of our spine and move it as much as possible in all the different ways that it's designed to every day, just to really keep it healthy and mobile. We really want to keep that mobile spine. So we'll do our seated cat-cows here. So just let your hands rest on the thighs. Take an inhale. Lift the chin up. Drawing breath in. And then as you exhale, let the hands slide down toward the knees, rounding out. So maybe you're rounding a little deeper now, maybe not, just finding whatever your limit is. Trying to scoop the belly in and up. So we're pulling the belly button inward and upward. Getting that really nice engagement through the core. And then we'll take another breath here as we're rounded out. Good. Then we'll just begin to synchronize that breath with movement as we inhale, lift the chin, exhale, round everything out. So I'm going to let you do just a few rounds of seated cat-cow at your own pace, really checking in with your spine, really connecting the breath with the movement of the body. So our yoga practice is about uniting body, mind, and spirit. And one of the ways that we do this is just by keeping our focus on the breath. And when you're thinking about the breath and focusing on synchronizing breath with movement, it really helps to keep your mind in the present moment, keeping it from wandering, maybe back into the past, where there's nothing we can do to change that, or maybe anticipating or having anxiety about the future. Again, we have no control over that. So just keeping your mind in the present moment, really helping you to stay healthy and positive. And we really need that positive thought to help our immune system stay strong. Let's do one more cycle of our seated cat-cow. Good, and then coming back up to our neutral position, we'll do a little bit of work now doing some lateral bends with the spine. So let's bring the arms up nice and high, reaching. Let's do a little bit of extension here too with that reach. So we'll just do that before we go into our lateral bends. So just another big reach on each side. Bring the palms facing one another again. Big reach up as we inhale. As you exhale, bring that hand down either to the underside of your chair, or if you have a chair with a place where you can grab onto on the leg, then go ahead and do that. But just make sure you're nicely seated on your chair, both hips, so we're not lifting. We're keeping both hips nicely anchored, and we'll just take another big breath here. And on your next inhale, turn your gaze up toward the sky and draw the shoulder back, opening up a little bit further, keeping space now between the collarbones. And we'll take another breath here. Good, and on your next inhale, bring your gaze back forward. That arm comes up. Big reach as we inhale again. And then exhale, bring the opposite hand down, and again, taking a grip somewhere on your chair and coming into your bend with both hips anchored down on your chair. We'll take a breath here. And then we'll bring our gaze up, take a big inhale, drawing that shoulder back. Once again. Good, and then bringing our gaze forward, both hands back up, big reach. And then as you exhale, let the arms come down to a T, bring the palms down, let the palms press back and just open up as much as you can through the chest. And then do that again, but this time flip the palms up. So notice what's happening in the arms and up into the shoulders as you flip the palms back, pressing, and then as you flip the palms up and opening. Good. Then we'll bring the arms just out to a T. We'll take an inhale here, and we're going to come into a seated twist. So nice big breath. And then as you exhale, just let your body follow the breath and let the hand come to the outside of the knee, if that works for you, or just let your hand land wherever is available. We're going to flip the palm or the thumb up. Turn your gaze so that you're looking at the thumb the best that you can. Maybe your neck doesn't allow for that, so just turn your gaze wherever is available. And then we'll take a couple of breaths here. And with the exhale, soften in to your twist. On the inhale, we get nice and tall through the spine like you're being lifted up from the crown of the head. Nice and tall, and then exhale, soften into your twist. Good, and then we'll come back to the front, let that arm come down. It might need a little rest after that, so take any movements that you might need through that arm. And then whenever you're ready, we'll gear up for our twist on the other side. So we'll start with a big reach up, and then we'll bring the arms down to a T with the palms facing down. We'll do our inhale, flip the palms up. Exhale, flip the palms back, pressing, opening up through the chest, through the heart space, through the collarbones, drawing the shoulder blades toward one another in the back. Then we'll inhale, flip the palms up, and then exhale, noticing the sensations through the arms, up into the shoulders, through the chest, and then we'll bring the arms back out to our T. Take a big inhale, tall through the spine, and then as you exhale, sweep that hand over, flip the thumb up toward the sky, and just follow the thumb with your gaze. We'll take another inhale, lifting up through the crown of the head. Exhale, body follows the breath into the twist. Good, and then we'll unwind from that. Once again, just shake out, do any movements that your body might be calling for after that. Maybe take a big breath, drawing the shoulder blades or the shoulders up toward the ears. Exhale, drop the shoulders. That felt really good. Let's do that again. Good, awesome. All right, so we're gonna start opening up the hips a little bit right now. So we'll start by just kind of heel toeing the feet out and let your toes kind of angle out. So we're kind of in a seated goddess pose here. And we'll begin by just dropping the right shoulder toward the left knee. So take an inhale here, and then just drop that shoulder over, kind of keeping that right arm straight if you can, and just kind of leaning over. So we're going to feel some action kind of in the side body, maybe in the low back here, and then come up into an inhale. And then we'll do the other side. So we're just kind of starting to slowly work the hip joint, as well as getting some really nice stretch to the lower back and the side body, the shoulders. Try to keep both hips again firmly planted on your chair. And we'll do that one more time on each side, exhaling as you come forward, inhaling as you come up, and one more time till you balance things out. Good. And then we'll take a nice inhale here, and then as you exhale, begin to circle. So we're just circling the torso and beginning to work the hips, getting some just nice movement to the lower spine here, the lumbar spine. And then we're going to bring the arms out. We're going to make this a little bit more challenging by pulling the belly button in toward the spine again, and just kind of pretending you're stirring a pot. And as you come back, really pull the belly in here. And then come forward. Exhale as you come forward. Good. Now we'll do the same on the other side, but we'll start with our big stir. Good. we'll drop the hands down and then just do a few in that same direction. Just noticing where you're feeling any of these movements in your body. Good, and then we'll come to our neutral position once again. And then we'll kind of heel toe back in a little bit. Take an inhale. And then as you exhale, let's draw that left knee up toward the body, getting as tall as you can, kind of feeling your sit bones on your chair here. And then we'll release the left hand or right hand and just do a few little circles with that knee. We're seeing again how that hip is feeling, and then other direction. Good, and then we'll let that foot come down, take an inhale, and as we exhale, we'll draw the other foot up. Let's keep a flexed foot here, so we're drawing the toes up toward the body, and take another breath or two here. And then we'll release the left hand and just let the right hand hold on to that knee. Maybe you are drawing the knee up from underneath. That's another option, just whatever's easiest or works best for you and your body. And then other direction. How's the hip feeling over on this side? Any difference between the right hip and the left hip? Just honoring any differences in your body, imbalances, totally normal. And then we'll let that leg come down. Good, and then just noticing how things are feeling after doing a little bit of work with the hips. And then from here, we'll just let the left leg extend out. I'm noticing that you guys aren't able to really see my feet very well here. Let's see if I can fix that. There. Live video, right? There, that's better. Now we can see my feet. Okay, so we were extending the left leg out and drawing the toes towards you as much as you can, letting your right hand and your left hand just rest on your right thigh. We're going to really draw the toes back and then point. Flex, point. Let's do that one more time, really noticing how that's feeling as you flex the toes and then as you point the toes. Good, and then we'll just come back into a flex here. Take a nice big inhale right from the pelvic floor all the way up. And then as you exhale, just hinge at the hips. So we're just thinking of hinging here and just dropping the belly toward the thigh and getting a nice stretch to the underside of the leg. Just keep your gaze down at the floor with a nice long neck here. Drawing the breath right into whatever spaces are feeling that tightness. Maybe you're feeling it in the back of your leg. Maybe you're feeling it in your hips or your lower back. And just invite that breath to wherever your body needs space. Good, and you can stay just like this, or if you're feeling like you need to release a little bit more through the shoulders, on your next exhale, just let your head bow down, and maybe even let your hands slide down and let the shoulder blades drop away from each other. We're still keeping that left foot nice and flexed and breathing. Always continuing to be mindful of the breath throughout your practice as best you can. Your mind will wander, of course, and then just gently invite your awareness back to your breath. And we'll take one more exhale here. Good, and then bringing the here, we'll bring the knee up on the inhale, and then exhale, kick it out, inhale, exhale. So you can let your hands be wherever they're comfortable. Maybe you need your hands to assist you in bringing your knee up, so you can go ahead and do that too. So whatever works best for you, inhaling, lifting, exhale, kick, inhale, and lower. And you're going to feel that really in your quadriceps here. So inhale, and we're also activating and using that knee joint, energizing those tendons and ligaments. So just go ahead and do that cycle one more time on this side. Good, and then just kind of shake that out. Maybe do a little patting over there. Tapping, as Lola always encourages us to do in her practices. I love that. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and do the other side. So we'll start with extending now the right leg, flexing the toes back, and then pointing, flexing, pointing. So we'll inhale, flex, exhale, point. Good, and then we'll just bring the foot back into a flexed position, letting your hands rest on your left thigh. Take a big breath, getting tall. And then as we exhale, we're just hinging at the hips. So make sure you're good and secure on your chair. We're just hinging at the hips, keeping the spine nice and elongated. So we're kind of angled. Our torso is kind of angled to the floor. Just keeping your gaze down at the floor. Taking 3 full breaths as we draw that breath into wherever you need space. With each exhale, you're releasing tension and tightness. Good, and when your exhale is complete, we'll come back up. Oops, let's come forward for another couple breaths, sorry. This is where you can stay just as you are, or you can begin to bow forward a bit, letting the head drop, maybe the hands sliding down, and just really letting go. So letting the shoulder blades soften away from each other. And we'll just take 2 breath cycles here. Expanding on the inhale. Softening and releasing on the exhale. Good. And then if you chose to come down, just let your head come back in alignment with the rest of the spine, and then lifting back up out of your posture. And then we'll come back in. We'll take another inhale. Exhale, draw that knee up and release the breath. We'll do that again. Good. We'll let that leg come down, and then we'll inhale, bring the knee up. Exhale, kick forward. Foot comes back, lower down. Inhale, exhale. And we'll do a couple more of those soccer kicks, just like that. Good, and feeling that warmth on the top of the thigh. We'll go ahead and tap that out. Good deal. Okay, let's widen the feet a little bit. Do a few seated windshield wipers. If you want to drop the hand and even turn your body a little bit, just make sure you're on your chair. You can even hold on here. That's probably a good idea. Awesome, good. Then we'll just come back, and we're going to come into just a seated forward fold here. So Let's take a nice inhale. You can widen your knees and your feet maybe just a little bit so you've got some space to come down into your fold. So we'll take a nice inhale, and then we'll just come forward into a half fold. Maybe you want to bring your elbows to the knees, and then just bring your gaze down to the floor. See how this is feeling for you today. And if it's safe and healthy in your body to be able to bring the head below the heart, then on your next exhale, just begin to lower down a little bit more. You might still want to keep your arms up above the knees, or maybe you'd like to bring the hands down toward the floor or to your shins, or maybe you have a prop that you brought with you and you can bring your hands to that. Just let the head be nice and loose here. Maybe nod your head as though you're saying yes. And then shake the head as if you're saying no, back and forth. Maybe do some little circles. Imagine that you're drawing circles on the floor with your nose. And then other direction. Good. And then we're just going to imagine that the back is like a waterfall. Just let any tension or tightness still lingering in the shoulders and the back. Just imagine that flowing off the back, releasing that with each exhale. Remember, when we exhale, we just release, we let go. Think about letting go of anything that's no longer serving you in your life. So we're letting go of tension, tightness, trauma from our bodies, but we also need to let go of things from our mind, things from our heart that are taking up space, that are just no longer serving us. So we just need to open that space back up, letting go of the old, making fresh space for what really will serve us, especially during this time where we're really going to have the opportunity to figure out what is it that we do want to go back to? What is it that served us before this quarantine, and what did not? So we'll let go of the things that are no longer serving us, and then think about returning to that which will support you along your unique journey. Let's take 2 more mindful breaths. Again, inviting in space on the inhale, releasing on the exhale, clearing away. Awesome. Now just go ahead and bring your hands to your shins. Come back up into the flat back where we're just letting the neck be nice and long. And then we'll exhale, come forward, and we're going to begin to come into our flow. So let's let the arms come up. Take our inhale. Exhale, palms come down. Just coming down into whatever fold works for you and your body. Bring the palms up to the shins, nice long neck as you inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms come back up. Big reach toward the sky. This time as we exhale, come down into our cactus arms, or maybe low cactus arms, just depending on your strength today. And take your inhale here. And then we'll hinge at the hips, pulling the belly button back toward the spine, getting really strong in the core. Take another inhale here. And then exhale, bring the hands to the shins, sliding on down. Then we'll bring a little windmill twist in. And again, your arm might be up here or down. And we'll take an inhale, let that arm float up. Exhale, bring that arm down. Other arm floats up. Exhale, down. We'll inhale, bringing the arms back up, doing a big circle, a big sunshine circle. Exhale, arms to cactus. Inhale. Exhale, hinge at the hips. Pull that navel in toward the spine, getting as strong as you can. Feel it all the way into your lower back. Take another inhale here. Exhale, hands down. And we'll do our twist. Synchronizing breath with movement. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, arms come up. Good. This time we'll bring a little twist in. So let's bring our arms down. Take an inhale. Exhale, twist over to your left. Inhale, forward. Exhale, twist. Back to the front. Big inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half flat back. Exhale, forward fold. We'll do our twist on each side. Inhale, up. Exhale, arms to T. Inhale, twist in one direction. Inhale, back. Twist in the other direction. Inhale, back. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, cactus. Inhale, hinge at the hips, really strong through the core. Inhale. Exhale, hands to the shins and down. Inhale, twist. Exhale, inhale. Windmill twist on the other side. Inhale, all the way up. Arms to T, twist. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. And back forward. Then we're going to let the arms come straight out. Take an inhale here. Hinge at the hips as though you're passing a beach ball to me. So you're reaching out and I'm reaching and we're trying to get that ball from each other. And then we're going to lift our toes up, pulling the belly button in toward the spine. Very strengthening here. You can feel it all the way up in your legs, your core. One more breath here. Lower the toes down. Big inhale back up. Let the palms connect here. And then down to heart center. Open up the hands. Let the palms stack on top of the heart. Close your eyes. This is a nice time to do a check-in with the body. What are you noticing after we did a little bit of a cardio flow there? I feel my heart rate up a little bit. I feel the heat in my body elevated. I feel just some tingling sensations in my body. My mind feels a little more open and clear, especially after letting go and releasing in our forward fold. And very importantly, take a moment to check back in with your intention that you set at the beginning of your practice. Really invite your breath to nourish that intention. Good. And we'll let our hands come down and we'll come up to standing. And we'll do a little bit of standing work before we wrap up our practice. So coming on up. And I'm just going to move my chair so that it's facing the side. So you can keep yours facing forward or do the same as I have done. We want to turn around and face the back of the chair. So we'll come up into our where we just have our feet grounded beneath each hip. So we want the toes facing forward and the ankles under the hips, and hands on your chair, and begin to just pump the feet, kind of like you're pedaling. If this works in your toes, I know some people might have joint issues in their toes, so you just do what works best in your own body, but this is a nice way to really open up those little joints in the toes. if you're able to come up onto both sets of toes at the same time, maybe even lift your gaze a bit toward the sky, kind of a standing cobra pose. Good, and then we'll let the heels come down, and then let one arm come up and down. We'll do that a couple times on each side, maybe coming up onto the toes as you raise the arm. And just holding on to the back of your chair. It's a balance challenge. And then down. Good. And then just kind of walk the feet out a little bit. Good. And then from here we'll come into a chair pose. So we have our chair. We're going to do our chair pose, except the chair isn't behind us. So just hold on to your chair, and we're just going to let the weight of the body come behind us. So we're not squatting like this. We're sitting back as though we're sitting in a chair. So we want to keep making sure we can see our toes. If we're squatting, we can't see the toes. We want to be able to see the toes. That keeps the weight behind us. And then just keep your spine nice and long here. And maybe let one arm come up in the front. And maybe let the other arm come up in front. Or maybe we're just tapping the chair, just letting your hand come off for a moment. This is just a really nice way to practice your balance, or maybe both hands. Pull the belly button toward the spine here just to get some extra strengthening of the core and the lower back. And then maybe you'll discover that you're able to bring an arm or two out. Maybe not today, but someday. Maybe letting the arms come up at an angle. Pulling that belly button in, breathing. Good, and then we'll let the arms come down, come back up. Good, and then we'll just kind of walk the feet out toward the edges of your mat, and then pivot on the heels so that the toes are angling out. And then we'll come into our goddess legs, where we're just bending those knees, and we have our torso, our earlobes, our shoulders, and our hips in alignment. And then we'll just do a few squats here. So inhale up, exhale down, inhale up, exhale down, maybe coming up into one goddess arm, maybe tapping the other hand as you practice your balance. And then maybe bringing both arms up. Again, maybe not today, but someday. And one more. Good, and then both hands come down. And then we'll just heel toe back in. Bring your hip just to the edge of your chair. You don't have to be leaning on the chair, but if you feel more secure leaning on the chair, you can do that. And we're just going to do a little modified version of tree pose. So we'll hold onto the chair with the hand that's closest to it, and then bend the outside knee and just come up onto the toe. Let your leg that's closest to the chair really ground down into the earth beneath you. Let there be a little gentle bend in that knee. Pull the belly button in, tuck the tailbone, so we're kind of scooping everything in again and getting really strong here through the core. Let your earlobes, your shoulders, and your hips be in alignment. And then when you feel really grounded down through that leg, just kind of flip the knee like you're kind of opening a book, and then bring your heel to that ankle. Give a nice breath here. Find a spot to look at in front of you, either in your home in front of you or maybe down at the floor. Just kind of cast your gaze down at the floor and just find a little spot there and keep your gaze on that. Your hand can be just resting on the thigh. You can bring it up to the hip. Maybe you want to bring it into kind of a half prayer here. And then maybe begin again, just tapping the chair. And maybe you'll feel comfortable bringing that hand up. And then maybe you'll begin to feel comfortable, whoops, the tree gets caught in the breeze and sometimes loses its balance, and so you just get right back up. And then you can also just keep your toe down on the floor and breathing. One more breath cycle. Good, and then bringing your hand back down, bringing that knee forward, and then back down onto the earth. Good job. Let's do the other side. Balance things out. We usually have one side where our balance is a little stronger than the other, so you might find this side a little easier or a little more challenging. So again, we'll just ground down through the leg that's closest to the chair. Give a little gentle bend to that knee. Earlobe, shoulders, hips, ankles in alignment. Tuck the tailbone, getting really strong through the core. Find your focal point, either in front of you or down, and begin to breathe. Connect with your breathing. Let the toe come up. Open up the knee like a book, letting the heel come to the ankle area. This hand can be anywhere that you're comfortable. And then try bringing that foot up, tapping your chair. Maybe you decide, no, I want to keep my toe down. And that's great while you're exploring your balance. Continuing to breathe. Two more complete breath cycles. Good. Then we'll bring the hands back down. Bring that knee forward and let it come down. Awesome. Our balance postures are just really good for helping us just develop focus and concentration. And sometimes in times of stress like we've been experiencing, it can be really hard to concentrate. We feel so scattered. So our balance practices are really helpful for that, to just kind of come back to that place where we can just center a little bit more. So we'll come back down. We'll just take a short little seated shavasana. So please just get comfortable in your chair. You can let your hips slide back and even just let your spine relax against the back of the chair. Close your eyes if that feels comfortable for you. Just return back to our breathing like we did at the beginning of our practice. Just noticing the expansion of the body as you inhale, and the softening of the body as you exhale. And we'll just begin a guided kind of relaxation, starting at the top of the head, the scalp, just kind of releasing any residual tension that might still be lingering in those areas, down into the neck and the jaw, letting your jaw relax, separating the top teeth from the bottom teeth. Maybe letting your lips part gently, bringing your awareness down into the front of your neck, the back of your neck, inviting space into those areas. Letting your shoulders drop down, relaxing. Letting go of any tension in the chest, the collarbones, the back, upper back, shoulder blades, moving down into the rib cage, the front torso, the back torso, envisioning space, opening up for the organs that are housed in that area, moving down into the belly, the pelvis, the hips, imagining space and light. Nourishment, inviting that to those spaces, all through the arms, the upper arms, the lower arms, the elbow joints, the wrist joints, all the way down into the hands, even the tiny joints of the fingers, inviting space and relaxation. Bringing your awareness down into your thighs, your back legs, the area that's resting on your chair, the knees, all the joints, ligaments, tendons of the knees, just nourished and healthy, and down into the shins and the calves, the ankle joints, the feet, the soles of the feet, the tops of the feet, and into the toes. Feel relaxation through all parts of your body. Thinking of your body, your mind, and your spirit being united. Feel a sense of wholeness and connection with all those parts and levels of your being. And thinking again of them being brought together to that sense of wholeness that is your birthright. We'll bring our palms together, bringing the thumbs to the sternum. We'll take 3 cleansing breaths together here, in through the nose and out through the mouth. Feeling the love and the light that you shared with your breath, knowing that that love and that light are uniting us across the miles, just through space, knowing that we are grateful for this beauty of technology to be able to keep us connected. We'll open up our hands, invite that love and that light that we shared with each other, drawing that to our heart space where our intentions reside, knowing that we can continue to nourish and energize our intention as you leave your chair today. And then we'll bring our palms back together, the thumbs up to the third eye. The divine light in me honors the divine light in you. We are one. And we'll bow in gratitude for our practice. And share a loving namaste to all of you and just much gratitude again that we can share this time together through the beauty of technology. I miss your physical faces, but I feel connected to you, and that is a wonderful blessing to me again.